Hello and welcome. Xi Jinping has become the most powerful leader in China in decades after being given a third term as leader of the Communist Party. In staying on, he has brushed aside the convention that the party's general secretary should retire after 2 5-year terms. Unless he's forcibly removed from power, Mr. Xi should now be able to personally choose for how long he will govern. His third term was announced at a ceremony in Beijing, from where our China correspondent Stephen McDonnell reports.
Xi Jinping led out China's new leadership team, in order of rank, with him at the top. It confirmed one of the worst-kept secrets in the world, that he'd remain in power into a third term, and potentially for as long as he likes, barring some unknown upheaval in the future.
China is embarking on a long journey filled with glory and dreams, and the bugle has been sounded.
Again, there were no women on the 7-person Politburo Standing Committee, a group stacked with Xi loyalists. The appointment of Li Qiang as Premier will concern some. He oversaw the disastrous months-long Shanghai lockdown with significant food shortages. Now Mr. Li is in charge of managing the Chinese economy.
I think the appointment of Li Qiang as the Premier shows that Xi Jinping is not principally interested in the economy. He's never really been interested in the economy except as a political tool.
China's new leadership faces exploding youth unemployment and a massive property crisis. They also have to generate economic activity while implementing strict zero-COVID lockdowns. Xi Jinping and his team have pledged to tackle these problems with ideological unity and nationalist zeal. Well, many will wonder if that's going to be enough. Crucially, there are no identifiable successors to Mr. Xi in this group. Yet another indication he could remain in power for a long time. Stephen McDonnell, BBC News, Beijing.
Well, President Putin of Russia has expressed enthusiastic praise for Xi Jinping. Mr. Putin said the development confirmed Mr. Xi's high political authority. North Korea's communist leader Kim Jong-un was also quick to send his warmest congratulations. Well, let's get more on this. And joining us live is Dr. Neil Munro, who is a senior lecturer in Chinese politics at the University of Glasgow. Welcome to you. Thanks very much for being with us. So this was widely expected, Xi Jinping securing a third term, enabling him to stay in power possibly as long as he likes. Why does he want to? What does he want to do with this authority, with this power?
Well, we've got some clues from the political report that was issued at the start of the Congress. So most of the report is concerned with making the system, the political system and the party system more streamlined, more integrated, and easier for him to use to govern. There's also quite a lot in there about green issues. He's still quite committed to that. He still has a strong ambition to arrange reunification with Taiwan, and the economy, as your reporter mentioned, is not really the focus of the report.
Speaking earlier, he said that China needs the world and the world needs China. So what does this mean for the country and for its international place in the world?
Well, I think we can expect more of what we've seen over the last 10 years. Recall that Xi Jinping's signature initiative in the world economy was the Belt and Road initiative, and that involved large-scale investment in developing countries and countries around China. So as the economy starts to run into difficulties, we can expect to see less of that, but still the outward orientation, the orientation towards China being more important as an investor and as a trading partner, we can expect that to continue. The difficulties will be with the Ukraine crisis causing problems with China's integration, in Russia being a big sort of player and energy being such a big issue. So we can expect from that angle China to be pushing more the idea of de-dollarization, moving away from the dollar as the dominant currency, but there's such a long way to go on that this is still very early days.
And I want to ask you about the position of women in China's politics, because there are no women appointed to the top teams, and this isn't that unusual. But what role do women play politically, and what does this say about what say they have?
Well, there seems to be a definite glass ceiling. We don't know exactly where it is. Women do play a role in the Communist Party. The Communist Party, when it came to power in 1949, saw itself as a liberator of women and did a lot to change the traditional place of women in Chinese society, making it more equal and more involving women in the workplace and so on. However, after that initial sort of push, probably from the late 60s onward, or it hasn't been such a big priority. And in some ways, you could say that women over the last 20, 30 years have actually gone backward in terms of their political position.
OK, Dr. Neil Munro, thanks very much for joining us from the University of Glasgow there.
Thank you.